Hi, everybody. This is session 3 of Tomb of the Serpent Kings, and we were so excited we started playing before we started the video. So we join in media res. Ganith, our thief, is footsteps away from a giant basilisk, but he doesn't know that. So, Ganith, what were you doing?
I'm edging ever so closer, slowly, carefully, and I'm trying to see if anything is glinting in the dim light of the torch in the straw around the creature.
Okay. So as you take a look around, looking for things that are glinting, you definitely see the chain running from the column to the foot of the creature, and whatever device is attached to its head. To your far left in the northeast column, you see another large, long chain, and it goes off into the darkness, and it doesn't appear to be attached to anything.
And the thing that is attached to its head is some kind of blinders like horses have?
There are pieces of metal that could blind the creature, but they are not currently set in place.
Getting closer still. See what the mechanism is.
Okay. If you get any closer than right now, you risk waking the creature. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you get ever so closer. You can smell its breath now as it breathes out. Smells kind of like decaying meat. And on the back of the piece of metal that's on its head, you see like a metal handle and what might be a gear.
Is it rusted?
You'd have to get closer to find that out.
So there's the other chain. I don't think that Nith wants to risk his life at this very moment. So he slowly backs down, whatever it's called, like I'm sneaking back to report to my compatriots what I've seen and to come up with a plan.
Okay. What do you say?
So I don't know if you know that, but there's like a gigantic lizard, and it is chained to a column, and it has some kind of mechanism on its head that we might switch to, shut the blinders so it can't turn us into stone. There's also another chain, and I'm not sure if it's like another creature, or maybe we can use the chain to, I don't know, to tie it up or something. What do you think?
I have a bad feeling that the lizard is the pet, and that wherever that other chain's going is where the brother is. Does it seem like it's going upwards, like up the column?
You saw it lying on the ground.
Okay, but there didn't seem to be anything on it.
He didn't follow the chain.
Okay.
But it ended like it was the end of a chain, or was it like a piece of chain that was disappearing in both directions into the dark?
You saw the end of the chain where you were standing, and it headed off into the dark in the other direction.
Was the end of the chain affixed to like a pillar?
No.
Okay.
So I could risk my life and try to switch the to move the gear, unless somebody else has a better plan. Please come up with a better plan.
Please come up with a better plan.
I do have charm, so a creature will obey a simple command and follow an action. So worst NPC or monster obeys a simple command and will perform a simple action. So if it wakes, that's an option.
Don't you have to look at the eye to charm it?
It does not specify, so I'm gonna say no.
And I have paralyze. So if we're attacked, I can perhaps give us a round or two.
So here's the plan. I sneak up, and you have all your spells and magic, whatchamacallit, at the ready. And if the creature wakes up or the mechanism doesn't work, then you do your thing.
We also want to get the meat ready.
Yeah, as a I don't know, diversion, I guess.
I think we need to offer the meat. Yeah, not as a diversion. That was the bargain. We should adhere to the bargain.
Okay.
The creature didn't look like the talkative type. It did look like the I will turn you into stone type.
That's why
And
it might be the pet.
Oh. Okay. So
what's happening right now?
yeah, we're still debating the plan.
Okay.
I mean, we're sneaking up, blinding it, and then we're offering the meat.
I think we need to determine what it's at the other end of the chain.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I have no problem with that lizard thing being blinded. That will definitely keep us from becoming stone creatures. However, it will wake it up. I'm guessing, unless you're really, really good.
I am really, really good, but still.
Let's see if we can get an eye on what's on the other end of this chain.
Yeah,
we'll have the meat
I agree.
And ready.
Especially because I do all the sneaking, but hey.
I'm backing you.
Yeah, so yeah, Gnith is sneaking back to where the end of the chain lies.
Uh-huh. The chain that went off into the distance, or the chain that's attached to the... Okay.
Oh, the chain that went off to the distance and is, with one hand on the chain, sneaking into the darkness, I think.
So you are you holding a torch, or is someone coming with you with a torch?
I would have not taken a torch with me in order to surprise whatever is on the end of the chain.
Okay. So,
but I'm not. Yeah.
I do want Fisk and Lakshmi to roll their usage die for their torch.
Lakshmi's is good.
Okay, let's see here. Fisk loses 1.
So we went from a D6 to a D4, or a D4 to nothing?
Went to a... Did we start new from town? So it would be to a D4.
Okay.
If I need to buy more torches, I can do that.
So before you get very far, I'm talking to Horst here. There's a rule in the game about being in complete darkness where you might panic. Are you willing to continue going into the room if you risk being panicked, or do you like keep on the edge of the torchlight?
Depends on what, I mean, Gnith knows himself pretty well, aka knows the stat that he would have to roll.
Sure.
What is it?
It's a D6 roll.
Oh, it's a D6.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not on a. Okay, it's not on a stat.
Yeah.
Let
me.
Yeah, I think he would then stay on the edge of the torchlight and then beckon the whoever. Are you both holding a torch?
The two.
Both of our assistants are. So if Fisk steps forward, of course I will go with him. But we do lend a little noise.
Yeah, especially you're also wearing a scale mail or something.
Chain
mail. I think I'm safer without the noisy warriors and wizards. I risk it. Let's see if panic overcomes Gnith.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you for playing into that. I really appreciate it. So you sneak towards the northeast and you follow the chain. I assume that you're just keeping your fingers along it ever so slightly to know where you are in the darkness. You're sure-footed. You've been in situations like this before. And as you get further along, you see something just with the barest flicker of torchlight. Something large, something about maybe as tall and as wide as a horse, but it's kind of spherical, kind of the size, like the shape of a sphere. What do you do? It isn't making any noise.
Doesn't make any noise. I mean, a spherical thing. Would I associate that with a creature, or it's just something in the dark?
You'd associate it with, say, the head of a very large creature.
Holy crap.
Maybe a giant.
And it doesn't make any noise. There's no breathing or clinking.
Nope.
Okay, I need to think about this. Can we make like a 5 minutes bio break?
Sure. Yeah, this is actually when we're supposed to have our first break. So let's be back at 10 after.
So Mark, I have a question. All my 7 spots are full, but they're like these small things like the medallion and no, what else is there? And the coin, for example. Are these like separate items or item slots?
Um,
I mean, it says oversized coin, but I guess it's not like gigantic.
why don't we start with number 5 being your first item slot? And so you have 5 more slots after that.
Mhm.
Because you got 5 and 6 filled. So you can go down to 11 before
Awesome.
you begin becoming encumbered.
I might pick up the petrified bet after all. No, I'm joking.
Okay, you can have that. That's fine.
So yeah, Gnith is not messing with giant heads in the dark, so he would sneak back to the other 2 and report back.
Yep, that sounds like our buddy.
Do you think he's been turned to stone?
That could be. It breathe or move.
Our other brother said hadn't eaten in a long time as well. Is it possible that it starved to death? Although that wouldn't explain why the lizard is alive and the other thing isn't.
Well, it had those blinders. What if the thing was starving and it just lifted the blinders and had its pet look at it?
So Lakshmi turns to Gandhi and she's like, should I be getting the meat ready or?
Yeah. I was thinking we had already done that. So yeah, plop that down on the ground at least. Get it ready.
Okay. So she begins to get the meat ready, and the sounds of the snoring begin to change to a sniffing in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear a loud groan, almost like a yawn.
Sounds like the basilisk.
Probably, yeah.
Probably would be best if we had it blinded before it woke up.
Now you're telling me?
Well, that was what my, but yeah. Or toss the meat in the other direction away from us.
Yeah, we could put, we could leave the meat kind of, leave the meat someplace and go another place and observe, and maybe while it's eating the meat, would that provide an opportunity for closing the blinders as a distraction?
It's what we got now.
It's the card that have been dealt to us.
Okay. So who is doing what exactly?
Lakshmi's getting the meat out. Has gotten the meat out. I'm going to, Gandhi's going to retreat, maybe kind of behind a column, and then be prepared to cast a spell if need be.
Okay.
Gnith is hiding behind a different column.
Okay.
His eyes.
Yeah, I guess I will assist Lakshmi as soon as she gets the meat out. I will whip it over there by where the basilisk is.
Okay. Okay. And then you retreat or stay where you are?
Oh no, we'll all of us retreat with a pillar between us and the basilisk so we can get an idea of what direction it's looking in.
Okay. So, you get the meat out in front of the basilisk, and everyone retreats behind a column. You find that wherever you've chosen to hide, something also chose to hide there, and their stone body lies on the ground next to you. And the basilisk begins to shake its body from head to tail, and the chain whips up and down quite a bit as it does so. It moves forward and begins happily eating the meat that's in front of it. It looks like it'll spend a few minutes doing so. Does anybody do anything different, or do you just stay behind the column?
I have the ability to paralyze something for a round.
Yes.
I will essentially signal to the thief. I'll cast that spell, and if he can get up there and get those blinders on, we should be okay, hopefully. That is my hope in that.
Okay.
So do I make a roll to do this?
I believe spells happen in Black Hack, and then you
Okay.
just find out if you can cast them again.
Okay. And then there's also the thing that I do have to test wisdom each round to see if it continues.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Alright. So, let's start with the wisdom check to see if you retain the spells.
Okay.
casting.
So my wisdom is 14.
Okay.
And my D20 is the one that's just over my name. And I rolled a 9.
Okay. So you can cast that again today.
Okay.
So what does it look like when you paralyze the basilisk?
I think that when she does that, like every spell she casts, she puts her hand out, and it's like her blood it like looks like a red stream of like her blood mist goes over there and sort of hits it, touches it. It's almost a thing of that insignia of having carved that all this magic has sympathy with her own blood.
That's okay. Wow. Cool. Disgusting, but cool. So, it is happily eating goblin meat, and blood mist slowly floats over to it, and kind of surrounds the body, and then you can tell that it's frozen in place. So what happens next?
Gnith is running from behind the column towards the creature, fumbling for the gear, trying to turn it.
Okay. So it is a little bit higher than at like hand height, so you'll have to crawl up on its shoulder to get to it. Are you?
Yeah.
You'll do that? Okay.
Gnith will do so.
Okay. And you find that there is something stuck between the gears. It's kind of hard to tell without a light source there. But you're like pulling on the gear, and you can tell that it wants to spin, but it keeps coming to a stop. What do you do?
Without the light, can I remove whatever is stuck in the gear?
You can. You'll need to make a strength check though.
Let's do that. Oh no! It's an 18. That's way over my strength.
Okay. All right. Um. So, what you find jammed in between the gears is uh it's s- it's sticky, but also uh kind of hard as well. And you you can pull some of it out, but you can't get all of it out. Um, but you know that if you had another round, you could get it all out. What do you do?
I go for it. I mean, I would keep on pulling at the thing and shout out to who looks the strongest. I think
Rook.
Rook. Rook, come here. There's something stuck.
Actually, Lakshmi's pretty strong too, but okay. Gandhi, what do you do?
I'm still just waiting at the uh, waiting to see if I need to try to charm this thing. So I'm just hanging out. I don't hear. So Ganith gives a shout. I don't hear anything else stir in the room after that, do I?
No, you do not.
Okay. Yeah.
No, actually, you don't hear anything. Nope.
Okay.
Nothing.
Yeah. I'm just hanging out, watching and waiting.
Okay. So, Rook, if you are going to do anything other than concentrate on the spell, you will have to make your check at disadvantage to maintain it.
Okay. I'm going to try to at least maintain it this next round.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, yes, I'm going to cast this and I'll say, Gandhi, if he can't get it this next round, I'm going to have to drop the spell.
Okay. I can try to do my thing if need be.
Okay. Let's see if I can actually keep it going. So I am rolling the one that's right above my name.
Yep.
I got a 2, so I have no problem keeping it going.
Wow. Okay. So, Gnith, you can see what looks like chains made out of red mist are currently surrounding the creature that you're standing on. And they waver for a moment and then flicker back to strength as Rook come. You're running towards Gnith now, is that right?
Yeah, yes. As
Okay.
soon as I maintain that, I will move towards him.
Okay. And you're there. So Gnith is above you and like on its shoulder. What do you do?
I'll look for a hand up to get up there.
Okay.
And what is it that he needs?
There's just all this stuff that's stuck in between the gears.
Oh, okay. Then I will start working on that. I'm a good sport.
Okay.
The take.
Okay. Since both of you are working on it, then I will. I'll give you another strength check, Gnith, and well, actually, either of you can make the strength check. Someone needs to actually wind the gears to do the thing.
Well, I will try to do the strength check if he can wind the gears then.
Winding gears is what I'm good at.
Okay. Let's try it. Let's see if we can do this. So again, I'm rolling the d20 over my name.
Yep.
I just missed by 1.
Okay. So.
Oh, let me check something quick. Nope, sorry.
Okay.
I have another OSR character that has a strength against inanimate objects thing, but it was me confusing the character. So.
Okay. No worries. So you begin working at the gears, and you are desperately trying to get those gears to turn, and it's just not working. So roll your spell maintenance at disadvantage, Rook, and we will see what happens from there. You're muted.
Awesome. I'm going to try these 2 D20, see how I do.
Okay.
One makes it, the other does not. So I just barely fail again.
Damn. Okay. The blood mist shatters, and droplets of blood fall all around the creature, who is now frightened and upset. And I have a whole bunch of information about what it does.
Okay.
Let's see here.
And I think I go, Candy?
Okay. It is going to try to shake the two of you off of its back. And it's letting out a huge roar while it does so. So we'll start with Ganith. How do you react? Now you could try the gear again, but it'll be definitely throw you off of it after you try. Or you can react to this and try to gain a foothold.
Yeah, Gnith actually thinks that the safest place at the moment is exactly where he is, maybe even a bit further up the body. So he's trying to grab is it like a collar or like the whatever attaches the thing to the creature's forehead and hold it very tight in order to not being shaken off.
Okay. And Rook, what do you do?
I think I recognize what Nith is doing, and so I probably am going to drop down and actually see if I can, how do you say? You said it's a pretty big one, right? Can I like step in under its, like between its two legs and like essentially under it and hold on to its collar below its head?
Okay. Sure. Okay.
Essentially it can't see me there, so at least I won't turn to stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do either of you have any tools that you bring to bear to help you out with this?
This is a good question.
There may be things that you have, Ganith, that you don't have on your character sheet. So just let me know if you think of something you think is likely that you would have had.
Yeah, I think Gnith is traveling very light.
Okay.
And he's betting on his dexterity, like his being able to, like a rodeo rider,
Sure.
counter the movements.
Okay. What about you, Rook?
I think that the last time she had to keep on wrapping her hands in her chainmail to like try all the doors. So this time she has some pretty good gloves to help her essentially protect her hands and grip onto whatever this is. So that would be what I would just say, is that she's got gloves there.
Okay, cool.
Don't know if they have any purpose, but
okay. So both of you make a dexterity check.
Close, but no cigar.
Ah,
I make it though.
you do? Okay.
Mhm.
So it begins to shake its body violently, and Rook, you hold on for dear life and manage to stay up under its neck where the collar is. And Ganith, you you realize that if you continue to hold on, if you continue to hold on, you're probably going to break your arm, or you can roll with the last like twitch and get far away from it. What would you like to do?
Broken arm's no good, so Gnith will use the momentum and jump as far as possible in the opposite direction from where Gandhi stands.
Okay. All right. So, you should have been rolling. You should have been rolling advantage for this because this is like a rogue thing, right? Like you have the rogue ability for this kind of task. I think you
It
should have been
is.
rolling. Yeah, I think you should have been rolling. So roll another die to see if you manage to stay on.
Oh, it's exactly the 14 I need, I think. Yes. It's not rolling under, it's under or equal, isn't it?
It's under only.
Oh, then I fail again.
Damn.
Damn.
Okay, so you leap backwards and tumble into the darkness where its tail is, and the straw that is there breaks your fall. Take 1 point of damage from the fall, and I'm going to roll a d6, and if it's a 1, it's going to go after Ganith, and anything else, it's going to go after one of the porters or Gandhi, as that's what it can run towards. So let's see what happens. A 5. Okay, so it starts charging towards the columns in the center. Gandhi, you realize that it will probably go after the first thing that moves. Do you push one of the porters out, or
I'm gonna charm it.
Okay.
So, and let's kind of talk this through, GM. A nearby NPC or monster obeys a simple command and will perform a simple action. So, I mean, my thinking with simple command is treating charm like whatever, like D&D charm, which is like treat me as a friend. Does that appropriate, or does that feel too strong?
In regards to, like,
I don't know.
Before you make any orders or whatever, all of a sudden it sees you as a friend. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I want it to treat me as an ally. Treat
you as an ally, and then you're going to make a command, right?
And then I'm going to command it to. What I wanted to do was command it to follow me, and then I would just lead it like the Pied Piper, to the other snake. But that all feels a little. That feels like stretching the limits of what a first level charm spell does. So I mean, what do you think is appropriate here?
Okay, so you've got an angry, enraged lizard running at you, and you're going to cast charm.
Yeah.
I will let you do everything the spell says and make a charisma check to see how it feels about you.
In regards to it treating me as an ally?
Yes.
Okay, so then so...
And you get that at advantage because of, of your ability.
Okay. Okay, so let me. Okay, yeah, that feels good. So I'm gonna roll.
And it'll still do what you command it to do, but in terms of it being an ally, that's what.
I see. Okay, so if I pass my charisma check, it's gonna be my butt. Well, but then it would be following me and treating me as. Well, it can't follow me until we like disconnect it from these chains. So I might be getting ahead of myself in that regard. Okay, let me see if it will treat me as an ally. That feels like step number 1.
Okay.
So I have to roll under. Oh God, my charisma's terrible. I have to roll under a 9. Oh, I did. It's a 6.
Okay.
Okay.
Step 1 complete.
Yeah.
What do you say to it?
Yeah, I mean, reassuring words like I'm talking to a dog. Hey, buddy, hey, you know me. Come on. And I just calm words, kind of like putting my hands down.
So it comes to a stop.
Yeah.
And it puts its head down, and it starts sniffing you in the air.
Okay. So, Rook, you're still on it, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think getting it to follow me might be getting ahead of myself. Perform a simple action. I mean, what if we just kind of fold this together and it's treating me as an ally, and the following a simple action is basically just like calm down, and that's the spell has done its spellness in that regard. It is not threatening to me, and it is now like calmly just on got its head down on the ground, and maybe that'll give Rook a chance to close those blinders, because that's still a problem we have to face.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, and then I'll roll to see if I forget that spell. I hope I don't, because I have a feeling I'm going to need it again. 16. Crap. Okay, well, I can't charm anything anymore, so good luck, you guys.
Okay.
But it does know you now.
It knows me. It likes me. We're buds.
And it's calm.
Yeah.
So if I can get on and get
For
the
now, it's
blinders
calm.
down,
Yes.
maybe
Yes.
it will let us lead it.
Perhaps.
Especially if we essentially give it tasty snacklings on the way.
It did. It's right. It didn't eat all of that goblin meat. It got paralyzed before it could finish it.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I'll disentangle myself from the collar and try to get these blinders undone again while it's calm.
Okay. All right, I'll come back to you in just a second. Gnith, what are you doing? You are completely ignored at this point.
This is okay. I want to be ignored. I don't want to be turned in stone to stone or eaten. So, Gnith is happily waiting how this plays out.
Okay. I just didn't want to leave you behind. So
No, that's okay.
Okay. So Rook, you are clutching the bottom of the collar. What do you do?
I think now that it's calmed down, I'll kind of give it a pat just so that I, essentially to continue the reassurance, and I'll see if I can give myself a step up and look at those blinders, get the stuff out of the gear, and move them. So whichever steps I can take in this moment, I will do that.
Okay. So the basilisk is looking. The basilisk knows what its stare does.
Okay.
So it's not looking at Gandhi.
All right.
It's looking at the ground.
Okay.
But it is making whining noises like a dog might.
Okay.
When you start crawling around on it.
Okay.
So you climb up and you're there at the gear with the handle and the stuff that's stuck in between it. And you said you're gonna try to clear it out and finish closing the blinders, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I think the followers are not turned to stone, but they're pretty frozen. I think they're both standing behind Gandhi at this point. Out of curiosity, Gandhi, are you scared right now?
For my allies, yes, I know what my spell does, so I know that it's not going to attack me, but I am worried for other people. I know what the basilisk's stare will do as well, so I don't want anybody to get turned to stone.
Okay. So you've gotten most of the stuff out, Rook. Why don't you make another strength check at advantage to clear everything out?
Okay. Wait, let me do a quick check here. Okay, so my strength is 14. And do these two. I got a 3 and a 19, but the 3 is awesome.
Okay. All right. So it continues to whimper as you move the gears around and the blinders come down.
Okay. All right.
What do you do?
I get off of it immediately. I give it a pat, and I'll go over and get some of that meat. And it's disgusting, but it's going to, give us some time here with this thing. So I will take some of that over to it and put it down there right by where if it were to put its nose down, would be right there.
Okay.
And I'll leave the rest of it by Gandhi, and I'll see if I can work on this chain.
Okay. I come back to Gnith again. Are you?
Yeah, Gnith now emerges, now that the immediate danger is over. He emerges from the darkness, dusts off his hand and says, "Well done, friends."
Let's get some torches around and see what's in here.
Yeah,
Okay.
Let's hope that the giant head is actually petrified.
Okay. So it sounds like Gnith is heading towards the end of the unattached chain.
Yeah, Gnith is piss poor, so he doesn't have a torch, but I assume that... Can I get a torch, guys?
You can grab one from our
What?
torchbearer from Fisk.
Okay.
And then he's following the chain back to whatever was at the end of it.
Okay. So Rook has brought over the meat, and then you're looking at the chain that's attached to its foot. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Gandhi, are you just continuing to give words of assurance to it?
Yeah, just hanging out, speaking calmly and quietly to it, cooing at it.
Okay. So Gnith, you head out into the darkness, and Rook, you also head out into the darkness, each with someone with a torch or in a torch in hand. And Gandhi, you are cooing it, and finally it makes a noise at you, and it takes a little while for you to understand it because it's heavily accented, but it says, "Why did you attack me?"
I didn't attack you.
You were on my shoulders.
Oh, that's a misunderstanding. We wanted your eyes are dangerous. We wanted to cover your eyes.
Nobody likes me.
Well, I like you.
But you don't like my eyes.
I love your eyes. I just know that they are dangerous to people like me. That's what makes them special. I love thunderstorms on a summer's evening, but they can be dangerous too.
What's a thunderstorm?
Something dangerous but beautiful like you.
Wow, Candy. You are poetic.
I spent a lot of time in comfortable leather chairs reading tomes of epic poems.
Oh, well, it's come into use. Gnith, you find what you are certain is a stone giant skull.
It's
On the
just
edge
the
of a
skull.
Just the skull.
There's no. Okay. And the skull is also petrified.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
oh, okay.
Either that or someone carved a really exquisite giant skull.
Well, it begs the question: where's the rest of the creature? Or they happen to be, flying giant skulls, which is also possible. Yeah, he returns to the group and reports back.
Okay. Well, what you're doing? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Mark. So the voice I'm hearing it's spoken language, not telepathic communication. Is that right?
Yes, everyone
Okay.
can hear the conversation.
In common tongue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you never put that ring on, so.
Well, so I was gonna say if our friend isn't with us anymore, I would actually put that ring on. Gandhi really wanted to put the ring on, but I also didn't want to step on Matt's toes out of character. Like step on Matt's character's toes out of game. So, but if he's not going to be joining us, I would love another weird animal that hangs out on my body. I'm weird like that.
Horst, are you familiar with what happened?
No.
So they found a ring that stated on it that it was a ring of snake familiar. I also informed them that the snake people were really fond of wordplay. So it had two effects. One, when you put it on, your finger falls off and turns into a snake that becomes your familiar. You've permanently lost the finger. But you also become familiar with the snake tongue. And so you can understand it written and spoken. So I'll rewind a bit and say that the basilisk is speaking to you in the snake person tongue.
And I'm missing this finger.
Which one?
Left hand ring, like my wife.
What?
Yeah.
You can't get married now.
I'm a lifelong bachelor.
Okay. Well, that makes it permanent then. I didn't mean to make it cursed, but here you go. Maybe it's not a curse after all.
Gandhi would never want to be tied down to one man or one woman. I'm too free for that.
Well, you're tied down to a snake now.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I also have a 6-inch tall androgynous moon-faced creep that hangs out on me.
Along with a new asp that likes to hang out with you too.
Yep.
Okay. So, Rook, you find that there is a giant, well, not giant, but a large lock attached to the chain that keeps it surrounding the column. It's not actually like put into the column itself.
Oh, Perfect. Then I will ask Nith if he has any lockpicking skills. Otherwise, I'll take my hammer to it.
Okay. So
I can pick any lock, is what I'm saying. I'm not sure if that is true.
Let's try.
okay. So you head over and look at the lock then.
Mm-hmm.
So you take a look at it, and it's the internal mechanism is fairly heavy. You know, it's obvious that if you had the key, that this would be a much easier task. But it's as much about pressing all of the right parts on the inside as it is having the strength to keep them where they're supposed to be. So how do you approach this? Your normal lock picks won't be the right size, unless like you've picked locks this big before. Have you ever done this before?
Don't think so. I think he's well equipped in picking, treasure chests and doors and the like. So is the opening big enough to insert a dagger, for example?
Yes.
And how many moving parts are inside that had to be moved in order to open it? And does it have to be at the same time or in a succession?
As best as you can tell, they need to be moved at the same time. There's 3 up and 3 down.
So I'd need at least several things, or I would have to stuck something inside to keep it in place.
You do have that stuff that was stuck in the gears.
Yeah. So I would smear the resin or whatever it is on the on the tip of what's her name? Thark's dagger,
Mm.
and then smear it, like push it in, try to spread the resin until it's hardened, and do that with all the 6 elements.
Okay. You're taking your time, right? Like you're not trying to be quick about it or showing off or anything like that.
No, I'm also hoping that Gandhi will charm the creature even more with his magic and with his natural
Charisma.
charisma. Sweet Tom.
Yeah, it's all down to natural charisma now, because I forgot that. I don't have that spell anymore for today.
Yeah, it's more like charm in the sense of being charmed.
Yeah.
Because I do hear the slithering, back and forth between the two, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so you're getting to work on the lock. So you're flattering the basilisk, and it's eating the food that's been put in front of it. And you can tell that it's pretty happy right now, happy and satiated.
Good. There's a giant skull. Sorry, this is a giant skull or a giant skull. Is it a giant's skull, or is it a giant skull? As in, what species does this skull appear to be from?
Oh, right. It appears to be like a large snake skull.
Okay. I will ask the basilisk to whom the skull belongs.
Oh, that's my toy.
Oh,
I like to swing it around.
I see.
Do you want to see?
No, not at the moment. No, thank you. Do you have a sibling?
Yeah, I haven't seen them in a while though.
Would you like to? They sent us here to feed you. They
They're
said you hadn't eaten in a long time.
Yeah, but they're normally pretty mean to me.
They were nice enough to send us to give you food.
I guess. Yeah. Sure.
Oh crap. Well, we're meant to, out of character, we're meant to bring the toy to the other sibling, yeah?
Yeah.
Crap. So that could be complicated.
You could rewind if you need to.
Yeah.
You're fairly.
And then how big is this skull?
2 people could carry it.
2 people could carry it. Okay. Okay. Well, if I could charm it, I would charm it and say, "Give me your toy," but that ain't gonna happen. So, could I have your? Could we have your toy?
Will you play with me?
Yes. How would we play?
Well, with the toy.
Yeah. Can we, if I play with you, can we take your toy away? Can we take your toy with us? I would be willing to give you something for it in trade if you like.
You've got a better toy?
I don't know. How do you feel about camping? I have a small tent. I also have pots and cooking utensils. You could bang them together. We could string them up and you could swing it around and it would make a delightful cacophony.
That sounds awesome.
Brilliant. It does to me too.
Okay.
So what do you say? Is that a fair trade?
If you can make me a clanging toy, that would make me very happy.
I definitely can. Yeah, I didn't just make that up. I literally took pots and cooking utensils as one of my items at the beginning of the game because I thought maybe I can cook up some weird dungeon rations. So I'll take those and a bit of, I don't have rope. Does anyone have some rope?
Yes, yeah.
Lakshmi, hook me up. Yeah, and I'll string together exactly what it sounds like. Pots and spoons and stuff on tied closely together on the end of, maybe make a loop of string, tie pots and pans and things around it. And yeah, when you swing it around, they just start clanging together.
Okay. So while you're doing that, do you tell everybody that you don't need to have the basilisk released?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yes. Yeah, definitely. I got this. We can trade this for that. Basilisk is happy to hang out here, contentedly chewing on goblin meat and making a delightful racket. So we should be good.
I think Rook kind of looks back and said, I thought for sure you were going to take the basilisk as your companion.
Yeah, I don't think that's wise. Let's just go with leaving it here. I would like to maybe swing back by sometime and give it some more food because I'm worried about it dying. But for now, happy and sated.
I do want to say to you, sorry, one last thing, Gandhi. If you were, you're certain that its body parts are worth lots and lots of gold, and you're certain that if you could get it out of here and tamed and presented to, I don't know, an army or something like that, that they'd pay you a lot and a lot of money.
Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna put a pin in that for right now. I think it stays here. If nothing else, I mean, it's way too big to go traipsing through a dungeon with us. So I'm gonna leave it here, gnawing on goblin bones and playing with its toy. And yeah, we'll see what happens. Gandhi's quite jovial and well-meaning, despite my pompous nature. So I don't know how keen I am on just like enslaving this thing to some army. But I have created a bond with it, and I'm worried about it dying down here. So I'm just gonna leave it for now, and we'll come back to it at the end of our adventure.
Okay. You were saying something, Kenneth? I'm sorry, before I cut you off.
Yeah, Kenneth is just holding up the ruined dagger with the gooey stuff on it. Removes like makes a gesture. I'm working hard here, so some kind of communication would be appreciated.
Sure.
Sneaking around.
Out of character, I was thinking that we needed to bring the brother to the other brother, and then I remembered that it wasn't. It was actually the toy. So So sorry about that.
Out of character. I'm not angry. It's
Good.
just it's Nate.
He's just
Fucking with you.
I have an extra dagger if you need one.
Well, this is Thark's dagger, my good old friend that I'm looking for. Oh, actually, maybe you can ask your new friend if he has seen a thief, like this tall female.
Sure. Have there been any other? Is she human?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have there been any other humans in here to see you recently?
Unfortunately, it answers no.
Oh, by the way, does my basilisk friend have a name?
Yeah. Let's call him Grok.
Grok.
No one ever comes and visits me. My brother used to, or he'd send somebody, but it's been a while.
I'll ask him to. Do you like it when people come visit you?
Well, yeah.
Okay. I'll ask your brother to send more people to visit you. Is that okay?
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't like me, but whatever.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go chat with him. We'll see what he says.
Okay. So when are you coming back?
Hopefully soon. I can't give you a real clear ETA, but hopefully soon. We've got some other stuff to do, and then I will promise you I will come back and see you again.
Okay.
Gandhi intends to keep that promise.
Cool. Okay, guys, you've successfully dealt with the basilisk. It is really happy with its clanging toy. And unless I say otherwise, you can hear it reverberating throughout the rest of the junction from here on out.
Sounds good.
So you're in a room with a whole bunch of columns. There are exits to the left and to the right, and then the exit to the north where you came in from.
Okay.
East and west, I should have said. East and west.
Yeah. No, north is where we came in, and then okay. I'll ask Grok where the other doors go.
Good question. Okay, so let's take a look here. Okay. It faces westward and says, "That way lies the throne room and something evil." But also, if you turn where all of the moss people are, and then it turns to face the east and it says, "That way is the temple that I used to live in, and the traitor that did this to me is in there."
Throne room or temple? Is that what it said?
Yes. The throne room has something evil. If you turn at the throne room, it goes to the moss people. And if you go east is the temple. And in there is the man that did this to him.
Okay. So, do we want to go face ZZ Mantor?
Sounds like a typical high risk, high reward situation. Throne room, gold.
But something evil.
And
but
temple.
Yeah. Well, we have the skull. We bargained for the skull. We could take that down there, work through whatever was in that area, and then come back.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well, I mean, we could take it back to Other Snake and maybe gain some more intel, and then we can always come back because we have safe passage through this area.
Can you ask your friend if the one who did that to him, if he can turn that one to stone?
Yep, I asked that.
No, it didn't work.
Hmm.
He used to come and laugh at me, but I haven't seen him in a while.
It didn't work because it didn't work because it didn't work, or it didn't work because you couldn't see it.
No, it got where I could see him.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I need to look for Thark everywhere in the dungeon. I don't really care.
Well, let's do what we said we would do and take the toy to Other. Did we get a name for Other Snake person? Other brother?
I don't think so.
Sherry, watch out! You're being attacked.
Always. By the neediest of all creatures.
Vulmax, Vulmax.
Let's take the skull. Two people take the skull to Volmax, as we said we would do, and then take it from there. What do you say? Because between here and there, there's nothing. I mean, we've cleared that section of the dungeon, so we can just smash cut back and forth, right, Mark?
Sure. I don't feel like asking you questions over and over and over again about things that I definitely don't have anything to give you on.
Cool.
Okay.
So,
I will assist Lakshmi in carrying the skull because we're
Okay.
still going to.
Yeah. Gandhi turns as soon as we decide on this. Gandhi turns around and walks away as if it's like a foregone conclusion that it's not going to be him carrying this thing.
okay. So that means you currently have one torch.
I'll say Lakshmi can hand me the torch. That's fine.
Okay. So Fisk and Gandhi, roll your usage dice.
Good.
Okay. Then good.
Okay. So, you head upstairs to the kitchen, as if you're carrying furniture for someone who's going to be moving, which is me in real life. So I pity you. And you make your way. Well, let's show it really quickly. You make your way here and head around the cistern. Oh, I forgot about something. Gandhi, that magical rod that I told you that you had from inside of the jelly from before,
Yes.
or the pudding. Excuse me.
Mhm.
Would you have paid to have it identified?
Oh yeah, because I forgot about it. So we will say yes.
Okay. So is it worth 15 gold to you to have it identified?
Sure. Yeah, I got 20 for whatever other crap we sold. So sure.
Okay.
So then I'll subtract. So what is 27 minus 12?
So the rod will summon forth within about 30 feet of you a very normal frog, a living, breathing, riveting frog.
Mhm.
And then moments later, that frog explodes.
Okay.
And it's a pretty powerful explosion.
Sweet. Summon frog grenade.
How often can you do it?
It has a usage die of D8.
Oh man, I love this thing.
Okay.
U8. Got it. Rod of summon frog grenade.
So yeah, the snake people really hated frogs.
Cool. Yeah, I'm into that thing.
And then you head to the east and you go downstairs and it gets cold again. And you are now in this area here. And you have the skull on a chain. What do you do?
Yeah, give it to, and I guess it's me talking because I'm the speaker to snakes. So we'll deliver on our agreement. We'll bring it to Volmax.
Okay. Well, Volmax isn't as subtle as Volmax thinks he is, and he's really disappointed that you've made it back. But he gets the toy that he's been wanting to play with. So, you've done right by him. And you walk through the massive goblin bones and around him safely. As you exit the room, you see that in front of you, the stone floor just comes to a rough stop, and there's a chasm in front of you. There's enough space between the stone walls and the chasm that you can head to the south, and there's nothing. It tapers off at the north.
Is Volmax willing to give us any intel on what is that way? I know that's not specifically what he agreed to, but doesn't hurt to ask.
Once there was an invasion of dark-skinned people that came from down there, but that was a long time ago.
Does it sound like anything to us? Dark-skinned people?
Do any of you know any elves
Personally?
at all in general?
I-
Know of elves?
Let's say that the war that we fought was against elves.
Okay. What it describes is a dark-skinned version of those elves.
Ooh. Jeez. Under my own native soil. Okay. But they're all gone now?
They haven't come back in a while.
And you defeated them.
We made it difficult for them to come back. They're probably still alive.
How did you do that? Essentially, she's not, but she wants to know how they made it difficult.
We used to stand guard with arrows and flame, but since the arrival of the traitor, we no longer guard the cliff. They could return at any time.
Good to know.
Okay. So does Volmax know where Shishimanter is now?
He likes to hide in the temple somewhere,
Okay.
doing his experiments.
Yeah. So, what are we thinking, party? Heading towards our presumed, final encounter, which isn't to say that we'll get right there, but like heading that way, or continuing to explore in this direction. This feels like like it's going to take us maybe, if not directly out of our way, maybe.
So just as a reminder, Gandhi and Rook's hook is that they're looking for the goblins,
right,
and you know where the goblins are.
This way.
Yeah. Wraith's and Gnith's hook is lost friends, but they were supposedly kidnapped by goblins.
Okay, so okay, great. So that feels like a unifying theme of go this way.
I just wanted to remind you of
no. That's it. Yeah, yes, that is helpful.
Okay. Because sometimes you get into these dungeons and you're halfway through and you're like, why are we even doing this again? Which is why I created the hooks, to be like, we have a thing to do, right?
So we're heading towards goblins, and clearly a chunk of them have died here, so we must not be that far from them.
Yeah, Gnith asks, Volmax. So, have you seen a thief? A woman? That tall? With the goblins?
These are great questions, guys, and I really love them, but I have to tell you the answers that make sense. No, it hasn't seen anything. You're the first to come by in a long time. And it'll make sense if you can get through the rest of the dungeon.
Yeah, I assume the
Mhm.
goblins have different means of egress than to come past this thing all the time, so it makes sense.
Okay.
So let's take another break. 32 after the hour, and then we'll make our final hour push and see how
Cool.
far we can get.
Sounds good.
Okay. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. Let's see what we can do here. So, you've talked with Volmax. You've secured safe passage to the south, and you've charmed Grok the Basilisk. What would you like to do now?
Venture forth.
Okay. So, as I described before, the Basilisk looked to the west and talked about a throne room, and that turning past that throne room would lead to the goblins. Is that where you wanted to go?
Yeah, does it seem like to the south would also be an entrance back to the temple? Because
Yes.
this is an alternate way to the temple. Okay, so this is just another way. So we have an escape route should we need it.
Good
or
thinking.
We can come from both directions or something tricky like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go back up, go see Grok again, and then head through to the temple, toward the temple.
Okay. Alrighty. Let me do what I should have been doing and prep the map some. Just a moment. Just a moment. Okay. So, having reminded myself of where you're at. Okay. So, as you head to the west away from Grok, you see a hallway with 2 doors, and then a hallway leading both southward and downward. Grok said that there was a throne room to the west, and that if you turn, you head towards the goblins. The moss people, but
Yep.
the goblins.
So yeah, we'll turn towards the goblins to start out with.
Okay. Do you look at the doors, or do you just go past them?
Sure. Well, I should say, no, Gadeth. We'll look at the doors.
Yeah, and the throne room of whom? Was that made clear to us?
Of their people?
Of the Yuan Ti of the okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Thark as my sister, but Gnith is too much of a thief to, completely ignore the throne room.
Right.
So let's take these doors out.
We do know that there's something evil in there, though. So, are you ready for a fight?
Well,
Gandhi does have a frog hand grenade that I can lob at anything evil.
Okay.
exactly.
All right. Okay.
So, Gnith is super careful, checking the the short hallway, especially looking for, because that seems to be a recurring theme, for pressure plates by kneeling down.
Okay. So you're kneeling down and you're looking, and you're not seeing any stones or stonework out of place.
And also, like maybe what's it called, like a wire or something. So everything that would, be on the stone or low on the ground.
Okay. You're very careful, and you don't find anything in the short hallway beyond the passage southward. The door to the west is ornately carved, like some of the doors that you've seen before. Unlike the previous doors where there were just one giant cobra facing you, this one has a giant cobra facing to its side on the left, and an impression that silhouettes it on the right, but it's like the stone it comes out, like the carving is I guess beveled is the word, like you could run your hand down it, and you could feel the snake on the left, but there's like a hole where the snake would be on the right. And to the north there is a well, it's what you're not used to it, Gnith, but Rook and Gandy are. It's what appears to be a sliding door with a handle or a groove on the right.
And the ornate door with the two snake faces. So there is the silhouette of both snakes, but the one is like a fresco and the other is just like, is it scratched out?
You do see some scratch marks, but it's like it's like a indentation where there should be another snake.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like you could, like, take the snake that's that side and sort of like hinge it over to the other side? Does that appear to be a thing? Like, is it?
It is mirrored.
It
is mirrored.
So essentially, is there any mechanism to move that snake to that other depression?
You could. It looks like you could pry it out with knives.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. So it looks like this one has been pried out with knives, the one that's missing.
Exactly.
Oh.
And you said there was a hole in this door. Is this the same hole?
No, the door to the north, not the one you're currently looking at, but yes, it's the same slot as the octagonal room with the priests.
Oh, okay.
The priest's room and the guy that sacrificed himself and the black pudding and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And the one room that you never went into because it wasn't worth it to you.
Opposite the door in the north, like the south wall.
Yes.
Is there anything to be seen?
Great question. There is faded paint of a scene of a snake man being crowned. So, like, there was a fresco, and it's peeling over time.
And the door to the north, is there like any obvious mechanism, or is it just the two snake heads?
The door to the north? No, so the door to the west is the one with the snake heads.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's the ornate one.
Yeah, the door to the west has no obvious mechanism of opening. The door to the north looks like it would just slide to the left.
So shall we pry the snake head off and try to see if it fits.
Guess we could try that. So it doesn't look like there's. Yeah, I mean, if that seems to be the thing, or we can try going the other way. But sure.
The easy way.
So
It's too easy.
okay.
So you're going to pry out the one on the left. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. So you now have basically a stone snake. It's about like a half-foot wide and a half-foot deep, and weighs about 15 pounds or so. But you could put it back in where it came from. If you were to flip it around so that it would match the mirror, it wouldn't be showing you the snake. It'd just be showing you like a flat back. And if you were to put it in, you'd just be seeing the flat back of it. You wouldn't see a snake.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Put it into its mirror image.
Okay. You wedge in the stone into the other side, and nothing happens.
Damn.
I think it's just something you could take and sell, maybe. If you'd love to. I don't know. But now that we have those out, do we see any mechanism in the door in these depressions?
You do not see a mechanism, no.
Shall we check the other door then? At least we know how to open it.
Sure.
Yep, let's check it out.
So do you give the stone snake to Lakshmi?
Yeah, Lakshmi loves carrying stuff apparently, so yeah.
That's
She just looks at me and rolls her eyes, and I just nod my head at you. Like, yeah, she does.
Okay. You use what do you do? What you normally do? Do you put your chainmail around your hand?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
I got the gloves, but I'll still do the chainmail. Just 'cause.
Okay. So you slide the door open. Inside you see a small room. I assume that you're still outside in the hallway.
Yep.
There appears to be a bath in the center of the room. There's no water in it right now, but it's shaped like a bath, and there might be some shelves in here. It's hard to see from where you're at.
Okay. And I think that we will, if nothing jumps out at us or starts firing fireballs, we'll open the door a little bit more and get some light in there to take a look at what else there is.
Okay. So, who goes in first?
As a thief, I feel entitled to be the first in every room.
Okay, cool. So you step in, and a torch quickly follows, and you there are frescoes on the left and right, on the west and eastern walls, and you can see depictions of what you think are probably concubines being prepared for a king. And there are places where you think towels might have been stored, but that's all rotten now. So that's you and probably Fisk. Does anybody else enter the room?
I wait until he says it's cool to go.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Gnith looks around and maybe listens if there is any kind of noise coming from the room in the north on the north.
You hear what you think is someone weeping. Someone's crying.
Maybe it's Thark. Yeah, I make a halting gesture with my hand and sneak closer to the. It's not a door. What is it called? The opening.
Arch or entry?
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody goes into the room? Yes.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. Rook, I'd like you to make a wisdom save, please.
Okay, I will do my darndest. If I can get my. Let's see here. That's this die. I do. I roll a 3.
Okay. Something very evil is very close to you.
And she stops. She goes, "It's close. And it's foul. Step back."
Kenneth stops and whispers back, there's someone weeping.
And I'll glance up at the ceiling.
There are no mummified hands on the ceiling.
And I'll glance down at the bath just to ascertain where it's not.
You do not see anything that you're not expecting on the ceiling or the floor or in the bath.
All right, then. And I'm like, it's not your friend weeping in there. And I'll bring my shield up and I'll step forward. Can we? And I'll sort of gesture to Fisk to pull another torch out.
Okay.
And when he gets that second one out, I will take it and I will toss it into that next room.
Okay, so you throw a lit torch into the room?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that reminds me. So let's go ahead and roll torches for everybody.
Dang it.
Other than the one you just threw in.
Lakshmi's is fine.
Okay.
Yay, so is Fisk's.
Okay. You hear someone cry out and then say, "Is someone there?"
I'll say, "Oh yes, someone's here."
You must get out before he returns. Or if you're going to stay, then please help me.
And my face is very grim. And I will step in with my shield up to see what it is with the voice.
Okay.
Kenneth is following, by the way.
In the center of the room, you see well, first of all, this is a really old room. Lots of dust. You see in the center of the room a young woman. Her leg is chained to the wall, and she's blinking. The light is bright for her, and she looks little bit hurt, but whole. She is not your companion, Thark Ganith.
And is she the evil thing?
You sense evil. As she's looking at you, she looks to her left towards the door, and she says, He'll come out of that door any moment. You've got to go.
I go, oh no, by all means, we'll take care of him.
Okay.
Okay. So Gnith goes to the or sneaks to the woman, attempting to see. She's chained at her leg,
She is.
and is there like a lock or something that I could pick?
Maybe. Do you go to the wall, or do you go to, like, where it's attached to her leg?
Where it's attached to her leg.
Okay. As you approach her, I'll just say it. You unwittingly scuff the binding circle that binds this demon, and Rook, you feel the evil power unleashed,
Mm-hmm.
and she's going to try to kiss you, Gnith. So I'd like you to make a dex save.
That's my favorite. It's a 4. I make it easily. Dodge out of the way.
You dodge out of the way. So for the first time in the 3 sessions I've ever run this, we're going to roll for initiative.
All right. Yay. Let's see here. How do we do that?
Everybody's going to make a dex check. If you're successful, you go before the succubus. And if you're not successful, you go after the succubus.
I'll be going after the succubus, it turns out. Dang it.
Me as
Even
well.
though I was ready, I was not ready.
Yeah, I also failed.
Oh,
Jeez.
okay.
We suck.
Yep.
Okay. Gnith, you have rolled out of the way. And I'm thinking that Gandhi is further away than Rook, but Rook is covered in a whole bunch of armor. So she rushes over to Gandhi to try to kiss him. So Gandhi, make a dex check.
That's a fail.
Okay. She kisses you and begins to drain your energy.
Oh, goody.
So let me look something up here. See page 11. Okay. So take 1d6 damage. Can you roll that for me?
I can. Would my magic armor be able to do anything about this, or is this penetrating my armor?
The damage can be absorbed by your magical armor, yes.
Okay, so then I will lose I'll lose an armor die from my shield.
Okay. So at this point, you just need to roll a d10 for me.
Okay. D10. I haven't done that before. Three.
Okay. You age 13 years.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And she laughs. and you can see her demonic nature flowing through. And she looks you in the eyes, Gandhi, and she thanks you, and you feel like she's being sincere.
You're welcome.
And so Gnith, what do you do?
I mean, we are all after the succubus, and I think in Black Egg, can't we like discuss, the order in which we do things?
Sure, absolutely. Go ahead.
So
Please
I think obviously Rook should cave her head in with a mace or whatever weapon you wield, while
I think it makes the most fictional sense for Gandhi to go last, just because I was probably kind of taken aback by this whole interchange. So,
All right, and I will take a swing at her with my hammer, which was meant for smashing such things.
Okay.
So what do I roll for this?
Okay. Let's see here. You're really good at, like, you get advantage on demons, or you can like do something special with demons, right?
I can, if there's a bunch of them, I can do a sort of area attack, or I can, once it's below half hit points, I do double damage against them. Or if I don't know which one of us has to be below half points, if it's me or them. I'm not sure which. So
I'm pretty sure it's them. But...
Okay, good. And then the only thing is that from now on, you guys roll with advantage versus any kind of mind control or panic. So if she does try to charm you or anything, you do have that advantage to roll against it. So we just have to get her to half damage, and then we can finish her quickly.
Okay.
So I'm going to try chipping away at that.
Now, since it's been an entire week since we've played, I do want to remind you all that Wraith read to you what he saw written on the wall in the one room, and you do actually know her name, if that wasn't obvious before.
I mean, I'm not a wizard, but I think names give power over demons, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Then I guess that we would use it, and it would be, stand back and the name of her. See what that does.
Okay.
And sort of just try to get, how should we say, get her off of Gandhi so that he can do what needs to be done, or is it that I do that if she needs to be rebound? If we're going to do that, or if we're going to kill her?
I wouldn't have any way. I wouldn't have any way to do that. I don't have any kind of like binding magic, so I'm thinking, smashing her with a blunt object feels appropriate. I don't know if
What object?
I don't know if knowing her name might give us any benefit in that regard. Weaken her resolve, etc.
I mean, while Rook is fighting, can Gnith look to see if the binding circle is visible? Maybe we can just throw her back, restore its substance, and that's it.
Okay. Make an intelligence check. Actually, make a wisdom check. Make a wisdom check.
So I don't know if there are critical failures, if that exists, but it's a 20.
You've rolled a 20. Okay.
And I'm not really smart to begin with.
Okay. What I will say is that as you look at the symbols that surround, like they created the circle, and as you're seeing them, for the moment, you've become absorbed into them, and you're in that situation where you just you know that if you could just understand, you could put it all together, and so you are absorbed into the binding circle, slash summoning circle. So Rook, have you decided what you're trying to do?
Oh yeah, I'm going to call her name so she has to pay attention to her, and then I'm going to swing my hammer and I'm going to try to take her jaw off.
Okay.
It's a finesse move.
All right. We'll spend your command points and do something from 5th edition. Okay. So let me determine how many hit points she has real quick. And you call out her name and go ahead and make a strength check.
Check here. Nope, I just missed.
You just missed. Okay.
It's not a great roll. Oh, D20.
$24.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Yeah. I keep trying to delete them and it won't let me. There. Quit moving. Okay. And okay. So you call out her name and you totally get her attention. Like she is completely focused on you. And you swing your hammer, and at this point she's floating a little bit off the ground. Horns are growing from her head, and like armor seems to be like kind of growing out of her body. And she puts her left arm up, and it blocks the hammer. And she says something to the effect of, you know, that will be the last time you say my name. And
Probably not.
Let's roll for initiative again.
Okay.
But I think Gandhi didn't do anything, didn't he?
Oh, I'm sorry. Gandhi.
Yeah. Sure. I'm gonna just have a go at hitting her in the back with some magic missiles.
Okay.
So that's 3d6. And my magic missiles are a lovely turquoise color like my other magic. So 9, 15.
Good
Pretty
roll.
good.
Okay. So you do 15 damage, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Yeah, I get 1d6 for each of my levels.
It's a good thing we've been leveling you up.
Indeed.
Okay. Okay, so let's roll for initiative again.
I'll do that, and then I'll make sure I didn't forget magic missile. I've forgotten my other 2 spells so far today, so we'll see how this goes. But let me re-roll my initiative. Oh, sorry, I had already rolled initiative. I rolled a 7, so that's under my dex, so I'm good. And let me see if I pass, or if I let me see if I forget magic missile, because if I do, I'm pretty much a magical eunuch at this point. I have nothing I can do. Selected. Okay, good. I still have it.
Okay.
Apparently, Gnith is still lost in thought.
Okay. Rook.
I made it. I got a 9, so I go first.
Okay.
I mean, I go.
So, yeah. So Rook and Gandhi figure out what happens before she responds.
I think those magic missiles go off and hit her, and since she's kind of floating, she gets pushed towards me by them.
Uh-huh.
And so that gives me a chance to sort of catch her where she wasn't expecting me. So I probably will take a roll as quickly as possible. Gandhi, what were you thinking?
I'm gonna blast her with arcane arrows again.
All right, that sounds awesome. I think I'll be happy to sandwich her between us. So I will attempt to hit her again. So I'm going to do the one right underneath my name. I got a 5. I definitely hit her.
Okay, roll your damage.
Okay, so is it just 1d6 or is it level d6?
Let's see what the Crusader says. Hold on for a second. Character classes. Your damage die is 1d6. A zealous smite. A crusader may spend an action to damage nearby undead and demonic creatures. If you had done that, you'd be rolling level d6.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry. I didn't see the L. So that's how I do the big damage then, huh?
Yeah.
Can I try that then?
Yeah, let's have you done that then.
All right. Well, I was still, if that roll had been for wisdom, we could do it, but I can also re-roll if you would prefer.
No, that's fine. So okay. you rolled under your wisdom, right?
Yeah, I rolled a 4, I think. So
okay.
A 5, excuse me. So even if we added some HD or whatever to it, it would still beat my wisdom unless it's 10.
Okay. We did add the creature's HD to the roll. It would have been 8. So you said it would have to be at least a 10 to.
Yeah, because I have a 14. So.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you are successful. So.
Excellent. So I can do 3d6.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And thank you. Now I understand that. I apologize.
No worries.
So not a great amount of damage. It's a 7 points of damage.
Okay. And Gandhi, you do 3d6 damage, right?
Is she below half? Is she below half?
Oh, she is below a half. Yeah.
Then it's times 2.
Well, so Mark, if you want to, yeah. So if the way Magic Missile's written, a far away or distant target takes 1d6 damage. So it sounds like she actually might be too close to me to have done that. Is that correct?
That does sound correct. What I will do is I will take half of your damage against her. Okay. So instead of doing 15, we'll do 8.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Which puts her at 16. She is not below half damage. So I will take 7. That leaves her with 9.
Yep. That sounds very appropriate.
Yep.
Okay. So let's see here. It's her turn.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's actually my turn again, right?
Oh, well, no, okay. I assumed that you did the second round of Magic Missile.
Well, no, I hadn't, and I wanted to look it up.
Yeah.
To make sure I wasn't missing anything.
So if you want to do it again, it would still be at half damage.
That's fine. That's still better than me trying to stab her in the back with a dagger. So
okay.
Where did they go? There they are. So on the dice, that's 9. So 4.5.
Okay. So 5 damage. Okay. Now she's below half, Sherry.
Awesome.
So, realizing that it's not going to work out for her, she turns to the circle, towards the circle, and lifts her right arm up, and it begins to glow with fire, and the fire leaps up. And basically she's opening a hole to one of the hells. And she's going to try to escape. Gnith, you are no longer frozen by the runes that are on the floor. but they did leave with you a yearning to follow her. So role play it as you will, but you get one action before she can leave. What do you do? You have heard her name as well.
So I have a yearning that I would like to resist.
Okay.
And I'll be cool if it fails, but
Okay.
it's definitely trying to not follow her into hell.
Okay. Okay, so make a wisdom save then.
My favorite.
Right? I will give you a +2 bonus because you know her name.
Yeah.
Is he rolling at advantage with the bonus from Rook's mind control or whatever?
Oh, right. This is mind control. Yeah. So roll
yeah.
at advantage and +2.
Nice. Oh, now we're talking. Let's see. 1d20. That would be a 17, and the other one is Mother of Christ. It's an 11. Let's see. Nope. I think so. What's her name?
Baltaplath.
So you see Kenneth murmuring, "So beautiful," and instead of slashing her with the sword, the sword, he what's it called? Lets his hand fall and moves toward the glowing circle.
Okay. She puts her arm around yours, and the two of you disappear. Let's take a moment for fallen Ganith, level 1 rogue.
We don't know what adventures lie on the other side of the hellish gate.
We do not.
Yeah, I mean, training to be a thief in a hell dimension. I mean, if you can find your way back, you're forced to be reckoned with.
You could definitely get that prestige class that you've always wanted.
Yeah, I don't know if you watched Buffy, but I mean, it's kind of like that.
Okay. So, let's finish out this room, and then since we've killed off a character, we can just go ahead and end it a little bit early.
Okay.
So, I mean, we've only got about 15 minutes left anyway. So, So how does Rook and Gandy respond to all this? The fires calm down. The floor returns to its state. The smell of ash and brimstone are in the air, and
I think Rook puts her hand again. She puts her hands on the shoulders of Lakshmi and Fisk, like she's there. Steadies them, maybe steadies herself, but make sure they've got that bit of affirmation that she's watching, but she's shocked. There's no doubt about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Similarly, I think Andy just probably kind of stands there in silence, and we all take a moment to collect our thoughts. I think Gandy probably investigates the location to kind of more out of instinct than rational thought to see if there's any way to reverse the open the portal back up, perhaps.
Okay.
That's probably the first thing I do is as soon as it closes, I rush over there to try to
fix it.
Yeah.
Okay. And so all you can hear at this point is heavy breathing, and maybe Gandy murmuring to himself. And you know, Fisk and Lakshmi are just shook. They are absolutely shook. And a little while later, people return to their normal senses. So, what do you do? You haven't explored the room any, and you haven't explored the room to the west.
Yeah, and I think that to some extent that seems like getting normalcy back. And she kind of goes, Gandhi, unless we resummon her and attempt some sort of bargain, I think he's gone.
Well, I think then we owe it to Ganith to complete his quest to find his friend.
Okay, let's do that then.
Okay.
What is in the actually apparently closed? Oh no, it didn't. What is in the room to the west of us?
So it's a good thing that you've gone into the room because you recognize everything immediately. It's everything that you would need to summon a demon, except it's all really old. So all the reagents and all that kind of stuff would probably have to be reconstituted. There is a marble altar, 2 golden bowls, and like the dagger that you got before, the ceremonial one. And there's another one of those, except this one is in absolute pristine condition.
Okay, I'll switch out the one that I have already for that one. Throw the bowls in the loot bag.
Okay.
None of the other stuff is. Can I make a record of what all of the? Well, it's probably not. It's not like it's labeled with like a bit of paper to say what it is. So, so I mean, like what I would like to do is actually make a record of what it took to summon this demon in the first place. But fictionally, it's probably not like it says like ginger root or whatever on the vial, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, I'll grab that other dagger and then throw the golden bowls in the bag.
Okay.
We can take the old reagents to see if we can determine what they were.
Yeah, true. Is this a large amount of stuff? Is it kind of a lunchbox sized amount of stuff? What are we talking about?
We're talking about 2 slots in Lakshmi's bag.
Okay, that's fine. We'll throw all this stuff in there.
Okay. Demon summoning stuff. So that I don't have to continually do math in my head, Gandhi, you now have a +1 dagger.
Oh, okay. I will likely never use it, but there it is.
Okay.
And then I know on the map there's a secret door, but I mean, Gandhi wouldn't, not being a thief, I don't think Gandhi would have any reason to start searching for secret doors, to be honest.
Is there something significant there on that wall?
You don't see anything obvious, no.
The only thing that we know is that there's a room south of there.
Yeah, you do know there's a room to the south.
Okay. Is there anything is this where the throne is?
What do you mean?
Aren't we in the throne room?
No, you are not.
Oh, where's the throne room?
I'm assuming it's the room we couldn't get into.
Yeah, the door that you had the stone snake with.
Oh, okay. So if we know that it's here, then we would know that this is the thing. So we don't see anything. There is this other little room over here. Can we go and see what's over there?
The one on the west, that's what Gandhi just explored with all the demon summoning stuff.
Oh, okay. So I'm sorry. I had it at the other end of this room. Okay. So sometimes west and east for me is very difficult to
Sorry.
Great. No, that's not your fault. That's my own. Great. Then I think I wouldn't mind taking a look just because I kind of have the sense that there must be something in there, or there might be a switch or something. Just
Okay.
looking for that. I don't have any great skills on it, but if you would allow a roll.
Okay. Tell me how you search the wall.
I think I would check for like a breeze,
Okay.
or a sort of like raised, like something that's raised unnaturally.
Okay. All right, make a wisdom check.
Okay. Let's do this thing. 8, I make it.
Okay.
Wisdom is 14 or 15. 14.
You realize that there is a part of the stone wall that if you were to push it in, that the wall would open up and head to the south. But you also have the wisdom not to just automatically do that.
Okay. Then I'll step back and look around and go, Gandhi, I think that if I push this in, we can move through. I'm just not sure what else is going on here.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say go for it, but do it, do it cautiously, right? Like,
so I will look around for what might be a trap or something.
Sure.
Look above, look below.
Why don't you? Okay, so just as a GM, why don't you head back to town and pick up
Great.
Wraith and have Wraith come back and look at it for you?
Okay. That makes so much sense.
So hopefully Matthew makes it to the next session.
Okay.
Okay. So that's the end of the session. I'm
Yep.
going to stop recording and we can do Roses and Thorns.